What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we're going to be talking about Smile Direct Club stock, ticker symbol SDC, because this stock is blowing up on Reddit and Wallstreetbets, and we're going to figure out why and what this could mean for the future price of the stock. So let's take a look at the chart, and first of all, you can see that it actually looks over the past 2 days as if we've been dumping quite a bit, and as if we're breaking this small support level that we kind of formed yesterday, and potentially, we're contributing to today. But if we end up breaking through it, then forget about that. However, what we have to look at over the more longer term is what's been going on with Smile Direct Club and what has been going on Reddit that's caused some of this momentum and action. So first of all, actually, if we even zoom out even further, you can see Smile Direct Club has typically traded in a much higher range than this. And if we even zoom out, we could zoom out to the past 3 years and really get a feel for what's been going on with Smile Direct Club. They have been through such extreme gyrations from $21 all the way down to $3.64, all the way back up to around 16, now back down to 4 or 5. And we're finally just starting to pick back up again. Now, it's really possible, in my opinion, that we will continue a kind of similar pattern to what we've seen where we dip way down, then move way up, then move way down, then move way up. Now, obviously, you can tell from the earnings calls that we have down here, minus 89 cents, minus 25 cents, minus 28 cents, minus 13 cents, minus 11 cents, minus 9 cents, minus 12 cents, minus 14 cents, that Smile Direct Club is not a profitable company. They're maybe not the best long-term fundamental play, at least not right now, unless they really get their business model under wraps and take care of it. However, that doesn't mean that they don't have the potential to move up short-term, short to mid-term even, based off of some catalysts that have been pointed out on Reddit and Wallstreetbets. First of all, you can see that it is the number 2 trending stock on Reddit right here, with 464 mentions and over 8,000 upvotes. Now, that only takes place after SPY, which is actually getting a ton of attention today because of the whole market crisis and the Evergrande crisis, which maybe I'll make a video about later today or tomorrow. But with Smile Direct Club, what we have to take note of is that we have surpassed GameStop and AMC and are basically the number 1 stock, right? Forget about SPY for a second. Obviously, that is going to be getting a lot more attention than anything else right now, but Smile Direct Club is really the number 1 stock on Reddit, the number 1 stock. SPY is an ETF. So it is getting a bunch of attention, and some of the damage has already been done to the shorts and the option sellers. If you look over the past 30 days, you might be thinking that because this big pump up did not work when it was initially getting a bunch of attention on Reddit, that this stock is done. Now, maybe you're right, but maybe you're wrong. There are cases made both ways. First of all, if you look at this very small graph, I'll try to zoom in on it. If you look at this very small graph that they have here of Smile Direct Club, you can see the overall 30-day trend on Reddit and Wallstreetbets, how much it's been mentioned. You can see there was a massive pump up a couple of days ago, and then over the weekend we subsided a bit, and now we're resuming, kind of getting to higher levels, not necessarily the highest that we've seen, but that is a very bullish chart overall for how often it's been talked about. Now, that actually correlates with the price right here. You can see that we did spike up massively price-wise on the hype that we were getting on Reddit and Wallstreetbets. Now, just because that failed and that we did not actually pump up price-wise does not mean that it was not a very good thing for the stock to actually get all of this volume out of the way, right? A lot of people were certainly bag holding this stock all the way down from around $16. And, we're very probably disappointed even on this earnings call when we made a massive dip below 676. We ended up dropping all the way on that day to almost $5. We didn't end the day below 5, but we did drop below 5 for part of the day. And a lot of people were probably very sick and tired of bag holding. And this actually correlates with a lot of the negative price action that we saw around this $676 level right here. You can see that it was at this point, let me draw a little line for you guys, that we ended up getting rejected and shot down on Smile Direct Club, right? We tried pumping above it a couple of times, and we were unable to do that. Mostly, I think, because a lot of people maybe were holding this stock before the earnings call and were just bag holding ever since, because this thing did take a massive dump, and a lot of people were obviously taking the opportunity to dump their shares. You can look at the volume bars, see massive volume. A bunch of people were probably holding shares and just looking to dump them. So just because we didn't actually pump up on this massive spike up doesn't mean that we didn't get a lot of the chafe out of the way, right? We actually ended up scooping up a lot of shares from people who were going to dump them at some point during this rise anyways. Now, that doesn't mean that we are going to be unable to move up in the future. If you actually look at the options activity, you can see the most current strike date, September 24th, the one that's coming up this Friday. There are actually massive quantities of open interest call options. Now, this could go one of two ways. Either if we start rising in price before Friday, a lot of these options will start being in the money, and institutions who may have even been selling shares of Smile Direct Club, who may have been shorting it around here, may have to start buying up shares to start covering these positions. Because if you look, we have 7,000 $6.5 call options, 21,000 $7 call options, 10,000 $7.5 call options, 11,000 $8 call options. And these are massive quantities of options for this stock, because if you actually look at another strike date, say October 8th, you can see we only have 1,000, 1,400, 700, 950, 500, all the way over here at 1050, we only have 7 call options. So these really are massive quantities of call options for this stock, and institutions likely haven't hedged against this. And if we do start rising, they may have to. Now, of course, because they don't want to hedge against this, it may mean that they will attempt to push this stock down. And that's something that we're really going to have to worry about. Because institutions do have a lot of power. And if you actually look at the short interest on Smile Direct Club, you can see that we're up 5% even today. And that just goes to show that institutions really are trying to push this thing down. Overall, we have a short interest percentage of the free float of 51%. So institutions do not want this thing to rise, especially not by September 24th. So it's really going to be a war between retail and institutions. And, potentially retail could win this. It's not looking great at the moment, just based off the price action that we have, that we've seen, as we have been shot down quite a bit. However, I really think that a lot of this was just due to the bag holders who were holding before the earnings call and got kind of killed on that. And we're just looking to take some profits from where they had the opportunity to before the earnings, right? They wanted to sell their stock at a higher price, and they saw this as a great opportunity, right? They don't care about the short squeeze. They just wanted out. They maybe had larger positions than a lot of these retail traders are taking, and are essentially gambling, right? Because all of these short squeezes are essentially gambles, because it can go one of two ways. You either win big or you lose big. So I think with Smile Direct Club, there is some potential, especially before September 24th. But even after that, there may be less of an incentive for institutions to hold this thing down, just momentum-wise. If these call options do expire worthless, right? If they expire worthless, then institutions might be less willing to just continuously short this thing. They might be shorting a lot right now. It may lead to a rise in price later as they have to cover those shorts, and that may be worth it to them to take a small loss on the short position, right? If they have to take a loss on their short positions because they overshorted now to keep the price lower, to keep these options from expiring in the money, that may be worth it to them. So there could be some potential gains on the horizon, either before or after September 24th. That will be a date to watch out for. And honestly, Smile Direct Club is looking like a promising stock, just because, as we saw on Reddit and Wallstreetbets, it is the #1 talked about stock. So that has typically gone very well for stocks in the past, like GameStop and AMC. And typically, at least, they see much larger gains in price than what we saw here from 4.5. Now we're at 6. So that's about a 50% gain. Not the biggest gain, not the smallest gain either, though. We did hit 824. That was almost double. But still, I think that there could be more room to run with Smile Direct, and it will be a stock to keep an eye on, especially over the next couple of days, the rest of this week, really, while we're waiting for those options to expire either in the money or out of the money, depending on how retail and institutions work this thing out. So that's really what I wanted to talk about with Smile Direct Club. Now, there is one other thing that I did want to mention. You can see that we have had on Google Trends some waning interest over the past couple of days. And as I said, that was kind of obvious from this chart as well that we saw on Wallstreetbets, on the Wallstreetbets page, that, obviously interest is waning a touch. It's not quite as big as it once was, but that, once again, like I said, doesn't mean that this thing is over. That just means a lot of people have already entered their positions. They've already done the research, and they're already interested in this thing and invested in it. So it doesn't actually mean that we're not going to be rising further. However, this isn't as bullish as I would like. It is a fairly substantial decrease in interest. And really, what I would like to see is a rising interest in a stock like this. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it. It is a big name out there. People tend to know, I think, what Smile Direct Club is. I know what this stock is, at least, not even from knowing things about stocks, but just knowing the company in general. I've seen ads for them. So people do have this stock does have some staying power, I think, with its branding, but we'll just have to see what happens with it. It's probably not as well known as GameStop or AMC. We'll really have to see with it. So that's what I have for you guys today. That's all I wanted to talk about with Smile Direct for now, at least, right? We're going to have to watch this resistance level and support level. We're going to have to watch to see what happens on that September 24th strike date. And other than that, that's really all I have. So if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, use the Webull referral link to get free stocks in the description. You can get free stocks. You don't even have to deposit any money to get those free stocks. And other than that, guys, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.